Welcome back. So in the last video, we went over my EG hatch, we went over the turbo setup and the engine bay, we went over the exterior of the car, interior of the car, and as you could see, it was very dusty, dirty, and on the inside, it had just collected a bunch of crap. So we're going to move it out. I swept the floor, got it all good over here. We're gonna pull the car over. I'll probably remove all the trash from inside of it, and then we'll vacuum it out, just kind of clean the interior back up again. We'll then probably wash the car just to get all the dust off of it. What I'd like to do is get a car cover for this. So I want to clean it up to the best that I can, and then we can just put a cover on it. It won't get dirty anymore. And whenever we want to do stuff with it, it'll be clean and ready to go. So let's bring the car out. We'll get this crap out of the interior and just start working on it. All right, so we're just jumping right into it here. Got something there, this is an airride controller. We're just basically, we're not gonna worry about the glove box today. We're just gonna get the stuff that's in here out of here, because we used to use these water bottles and stuff for transporting water, because we never used to have a well on property. So we don't need these anymore. So we're just gonna get these out of here. Yeah, we're literally just gonna take everything out of here. This is a funny story, actually. As you can tell, I used to like this stuff a lot. It smells good and it used to actually do a good job. But I've actually switched over to something else. So we got the front cleaned up. We have those seat brackets out. We need to figure out a seat situation for this, because I need to get seats back in this car. I do want to drive it this year, so I got to make sure I get that figured out. But I guess we'll move on to the back, get that all cleaned up. So back here is actually pretty clean. Literally just have one of the water bottles and a rag, and we've got some like excess airline and some wire ends. Something I see though is that this piece it's a two-piece design, that way you can get it in and out of the trunk. It's not sitting level. So we may take and put some scrap wood on the bottom of this that sticks out this way, that way the second piece sits on it nice and flat. But we'll have to flip this upside down to be able to access that. So I'm not sure if we'll do that right now, but we can maybe, you know what, we'll do that after we vacuum. So this is basically ready for a vacuum and a wipe down and stuff. So we'll just, I guess, get the vacuum out and get after it. Now that we have the carpet, the seats, and this rear hatch area all cleaned up, what we're gonna do now is we'll flip the platform that all the air ride stuff sits on upside down. And then I've got some scrap wood right here. And what we'll do is I'll probably cut this in half, and then half of this piece will be screwed down to the bottom of this piece, and then the rest of it will stick out over this way. And then what we can do is when we put this piece in there like it's supposed to be, it'll be sitting where it's supposed to go. So I'm gonna get this piece marked out, and then we'll flip that up and screw this on there. There we are. All right, so I got some 1¼ inch deck screws. I got the bit for it. I've got the wood that we just cut, and we've got this piece. So this piece can get set to the side because my measurement for this is just the empty cavity. So I'll just throw that over here, and then we can flip this up. We can kind of see about where I want this. Yeah, I think something like that will be all right. Like this should be all right. There we are. So we should be able to flip this back down, and it will have a somewhat level floor. There we go. Just a little adjusting. There it is. Here's a better look at how it turned out. Much better, for sure. These being the same height, you know, from here it literally looks like one piece. And that's exactly what we wanted. So now we'll just clean the dust and dirt out of the interior, and we can move on to the exterior. All right, so we got the trunk all back together, closed up. We got the doors closed, the windows closed. Because the door popper system, because this car doesn't have handles, because the door popper system needs to be repaired, I have to leave this window down a little bit so that I can reach in and then open the door. But it's been like that for a long time actually, so washing it with the window down is nothing new to me. But that being said, we're at the point now where we're actually gonna wash the car, so I'll bring the pressure washer over, we'll rinse the car down, get all of the initial dust off of it, we'll foam it, then we'll actually start to scrub it down by hand. And then we'll rinse it off, dry it, and maybe put a little spray coating on it just to protect it some. Okay, so as you guys just saw, we rinsed the car down, got most of the dirt off with just an initial rinse, and then we foamed the car, let it sit for a little bit. I put some extra soap on my microfiber, and then we just washed the car all down with the microfiber and then rinsed it off. So now, while it's all wet but it's clean, I'm gonna let it drip dry. I'm gonna take care of some of the tools that we had out from what we were doing earlier, and I'll put away some of this stuff that we took out of the car. before we vacuumed, and then we'll come back. Once it's dried a little bit, we'll just finish dry it, and then we'll put on a spray coating of wax just to kind of seal everything up. Just because it is pretty decently coated right now, especially the glass. The glass is done really well, but the car was compounded and polished, and it hasn't been driven on the road since. So although it's not perfect, I think we just need a little coating to seal the top of it, and it should be good to go. How's it look? I'm pretty happy with it. I think it came out really good. I knew that it was going to transform quite a bit. One, because there was just a lot of dust on it. And then two, I haven't driven it since I coated it, since I compounded the car and polished it. So it was basically, I knew that this is exactly what it was gonna look like, because this is what it looks like if you just get the dust off of it. But I'm gonna give you guys some B-roll here in a minute, but I think the car came out really good. We did the exterior, we fixed the subfloor for the air tank and the management and the compressor for the air ride stuff. We fixed that floor issue. We cleaned and vacuumed the whole interior, the rear seats, the dash, the door panels. We did everything. So exterior, interior, this is, I'm not gonna call it a detail, but it's a full go through, and I'm pretty happy with how it came out. So stay tuned for next video. We're gonna continue to work on the air ride stuff. We're actually going to, I have an issue where it drains the battery. So I'm gonna run a new power and a new ground just to the manifold from the battery back to the air ride system, just so we can eliminate the draw issue that I have on the battery. Here we go, let's get into the B-roll, but thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Me wind and rain, you're some kind of butterfly.